The Dog and the Hilarious Escape Plan. Hello everyone, today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, The Dog and the Hilarious Escape Plan. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don't like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. Once upon a time, there was a mischievous little dog named Max. Max was a small, fluffy creature with big brown eyes and a nose that was always sniffing around for trouble. Max lived with his owner, Mrs. Thompson, a kind woman who loved him dearly, but sometimes she didn't understand how clever he truly was. One afternoon, Mrs. Thompson was busy cooking in the kitchen when Max had a brilliant idea. He had been stuck inside the house all day, and he was determined to break free. Max wasn't just any dog. He was a dog with a plan. He had watched Mrs. Thompson leave the door unlocked earlier that morning, and he had been waiting for the perfect moment to escape. With a quick wag of his tail, Max darted towards the door. He squeezed through the tiny gap between the door and the floor, and, in a flash, he was outside. Freedom at last. But Max quickly realized that escaping was just the beginning. He hadn't thought through the rest of the plan. Where was he going? And what if Mrs. Thompson found out? Max trotted down the street, enjoying the fresh air and the feeling of adventure. But before he could get too far, he heard a familiar voice. Max, Max, where are you going? It was Mrs. Thompson, and she wasn't happy. Max's ears perked up, and he turned around to see Mrs. Thompson running after him, waving her arms dramatically. She wasn't very fast, but Max knew she meant business. Max put his paws to the ground and started running faster, zigzagging through the neighborhood like a little speedster. As Max dashed around corners and dodged trees, he noticed a group of neighborhood cats watching him from a fence. They looked at each other, then at Max, and in a synchronized move, they all jumped down to join the chase. Max's escape had turned into an all-out pursuit. The cats, determined to catch him, made their way through the bushes, meowing loudly. Max wasn't just running from Mrs. Thompson anymore. He had a full feline squad after him. Max kept running, his heart racing, but eventually he grew tired. He was fast, but not that fast. He glanced over his shoulder and saw Mrs. Thompson panting and the cats closing in on him. Max had to think of something fast. As he approached a puddle, Max had an idea. He stopped suddenly, turned around, and splashed right into the water, sending droplets flying everywhere. Mrs. Thompson, still panting, stumbled and fell right into the puddle behind him. She was soaked from head to toe. The cats, seeing this, immediately stopped and began to lick their paws, uninterested in the mess. Max trotted back home, wagging his tail proudly as Mrs. Thompson stood up, dripping wet, laughing at the absurdity of it all. "You little rascal," she said, shaking her head. "I should have known better than to leave you alone for even a second." Max had failed to escape, but he had certainly made it a hilarious adventure. And as for Mrs. Thompson, she learned that next time, she might just lock the door a little tighter.